you're in a boxing environment here, and I know you early on. It was mixed martial arts is really where your roots are, and then you went to boxing, and then you're back to mixed martial arts. But what's the feel for you? Do you like being around this?
Oh yeah, no, this is home. Coming to Mayweather's gym, it's like a family reunion, and to see some of the old veterans and some of the old trainers and some of the new guys, and just looking at the progression of the game, Ron. It's very interesting, but it's like going to a barbershop. It's all barbershop talk, and but no, it's a blast. Yeah, I am in the MMA industry, but boxing is still a big passion, and can never forget where you come from.
Yeah. Well, did you ever feel any kind of resentment from anybody because you did make the jump back to MMA?
No, there's never been a resentment or anything like that. As a matter of fact, kickboxing is my original background. So I left kickboxing to get into boxing, and then the UFC came around, so I'm working on both. But now, as a cut man, my job is to protect the fighters, Ron, and whether you're in the MMA industry or whether you're in the boxing industry, my job is to take care of them and give them that opportunity to go one more round, and it has nothing to do with boxing versus MMA.
Yeah. Well, you're traveling an awful lot now, and what's that like for you? I mean, you always did move around a lot, but I mean, now it seems like we see you in a different place every week because there's so many. UFC has so many different promotions.
Yeah, I was in Tulsa. No, I was in Bangor, Maine 2 weeks ago. I was in Tulsa last week. This week I'm going to be in Sacramento. Next week I was supposed to be in Germany with Klitschko, but he got moved back to November. The week after, I'm going to be in Brazil. As a matter of fact, I just picked up my passport from the UFC office because they need a visa, but you can see all the little stamps. That's less than a year, So I pretty much stay on the road. But it's I was just talking to Rafael Garcia, great cut man for Mayweather and a very good friend of mine, and it's we all work to have this type of dream and make it come true, and we're both living the dream, and I thank God every day that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Well, you've really made an impact, and now you kind of got into it where you have products that you're putting out there for the safety and to help the fighters, right?
Yeah, that's always been my goal, Ron, is to make this game better through the transitions and seeing the faults. Boxing for the most part hasn't changed in years. The mechanics of it, the equipment and all that, and me as a cut man, I've come out with cut man supplies that are really top of the line, and you have my own line of tape, Stitch Premium, and I created a new KL swell. I have Quick Aid, which is a new hemostatic gauze pad that's 100% natural, and it stops a cut in a heartbeat, and we've been using that in the UFC, and so these are the items that I'm coming up with, and my ultimate goal is I retire. If people say, what did you do for the sport? I could say that I brought education and made the sport a lot better for the fighters, and we have to take care of the fighters, and that's my number one job.
All right. Well, we're all indebted to you. We appreciate it. And just lastly, just want to ask you, because a lot of people still ask me, the name Stitch. It's Jacob, but who hung the Stitch on you?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, Ron, because not very many people know my real name now. It's been Stitch all for the longest time. But when I had a school of kickboxing, I was working with this one fighter, Dave Rooney, and I was just learning to be a cut man. And then nobody the old boxing guys wouldn't teach us their secrets, as they call them. Now I know that it's not secrets; it's just proper technique. But I saw these guys cut tape up and butterfly a cut. Well, this guy had a small cut, and I did the same thing. I put butterfly on him, and he says, well, you know what? You saved me some stitches. I'm going to call you Stitch. So I have to attribute that to Dave Rooney, a kickboxer.
All right. Well, listen, you're the man with the Midas touch. In fact, you have everything you touch turns to gold. Fighters don't want anybody else to put the Vaseline on. They want you because they think it's good luck.
Well, and that happens, especially when I'm working at the UFC. I wrap so many hands because, these guys, even though, there's 5 cutmen that work a night, and they assign these 20 fighters to the cutmen, and if they give me 5, I'll end up doing 8 fighters because these guys feel confident with me. I give them that point of confidence, and if I could give them that ounce of confidence, I'll go beyond the Call of Duty and wrap their hands. And it's a security. A fighter,
right.
They have to be secure when they go in the fight, and like I tell them, I'm your father in the ring. I'm going to take care of you just like I'm your father.
All right, well, there he is. You've been a father in many ways, but that's the big one right there. We appreciate it, Stitch. Continued success to you, and we'll keep following you as we have been. We'll see you on TV next week.
Yeah, that's almost guaranteed, Ron.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
My pleasure.